What's up, guys? Welcome back to Car Thoughts with Sam. So I got a question this week from one of my daily check-in clients, and it made me laugh because it's kind of brilliant the way that she phrased it. What she had asked me, or what she had said, was that according to my scale, I've lost 3 pounds of fat and I've gained 3 pounds of water. So my cells are basically betting that I'm going to regain the fat again, right? They just don't want to shrink. I was like, wow. I've never thought about it in that context, but the short answer is yes. Your cells are absolutely placing bets on your dietary failure. And usually that is the case, evolutionary speaking, I suppose, because our bodies are these incredible adaptable machines, but at the end of the day, bodies don't care about how good we look in a bikini, right? That doesn't matter. Your body's number one priority, its number one job is to keep you alive. Number one is survival. And let me kind of explain what's really happening in this scenario when you're seeing these kinds of like weird fluctuations, or you feel like you're stalled out and you're not making progress even though you're doing everything, right? So when you lose fat, the cells, or the fat cells, don't just like magically disappear. They do shrink, but they stick around. Think of it like as a deflated balloon kind of waiting to be refilled. And then your body sees these half deflated cells and says, well, historically, whenever this human has lost weight fast, food showed up again and we filled back out soon after. So we better keep the infrastructure ready, like just in case. So it's ready when we refuel or refill out again. So then what happens is it triggers this cascade of different hormones in your body, which are going to be mainly cortisol and aldosterone and an antidiuretic, which basically just means it tells your kidneys, hold on to every drop of water and every grain of sodium that you can so that we can keep these cells full until we are fed again, right? So then the result is that essentially the fat that you're losing is like hidden, or it's just not being represented on the scale because it's being masked by the water that you're now retaining. And then the net change on the scale is basically zero, which is super, super frustrating. But it is one of those circumstances in which a biometric scale like the Hume Body Pod or InBody, something like that, can actually be super insightful because it's going to pick up more on body composition. So like body fat percentages, water, lean mass, etc., and not just weight itself. So anyways, I do see this all of the time, and it's not just with like my lifestyle and transformation people. It is also, I see it a lot with athletes, especially, at the beginning of a contest prep, sometimes intermittently in between, like especially once we get to a place where it's like we're pushing really hard, right? They're following a plan perfectly, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and you see almost no movement on the scale. The scale is not changing. Maybe the aesthetic is changing. The other measurements are changing. But then you wake up one morning and suddenly you're just 4 pounds lighter overnight, right? Which is not a miracle. It's not like all of a sudden it's just 4 pounds of body fat gone. It's just that the body is finally letting go of that water retention that it was hoarding, that like just in case water retention, right? So we see it like all at once. So yeah, in a very real sense, your cells are saving space for the fat that they are, your instinct, your body's genetics, essentially, our confidence are coming back to the party. But the good news is that if you stay consistent, if you keep checking all of the boxes, you are showing up, you are following the plan, you are doing the work, then eventually your body realizes that this is not just a temporary famine, and the hormonal alarm gets turned down, and then all of the water just flushes out, and the scale finally moves along with it and catches up to the body fat, or catches up to reflect the body fat that you have already lost. So pretty cool stuff, but again, frustrating. And if you are seeing this exact same pattern, or if you have ever recognized this in the past in a dieting phase, then congratulations. It means that you are doing it right. Your cells are just being a little dramatic, and they'll eventually catch up and join the party. So if you've had one of those magical, random 4-pound whoosh, everything is gone kind of mornings, just know that you are not alone. Science wins again.